Today, on Be Something Wonderful, the only manifesting process you'll ever need. Here's why. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Big video today. And this really comes from two back-to-back sessions that I had with a client. This is a new client. And we had hour and a half sessions, 2 days in a row. And I really want to talk, this client had some, as Abraham Hicks would say, had some very strong asking. Really wanted to know the answers. And here's some of the things that we talked about. And then we're going to wrap it all together with actually a process. Because she has some strong asking. Tom, I need a process. So BSW, powerful asking, it's all an illusion. What's the point of this? We're going to get to this today. If it's done and it's all mine, then trying to manifest and process it makes no sense. But where is it? In other words, to perceive it, I need some process. And this comes from, she really binge-watched some videos, and so she was asking some of the questions. And so we're going to get to all of this, but I want to start with the question of illusion. We're going to get to even unpack it more. But it's not that it's all an illusion. It's that nothing is as it seems with our 3D apparatus, our 3D senses, what we're perceiving and seeing in 3D reality. That's what that really means. And what's the point? Well, love is the point. Love is everything, right? That's what love does, as Byron Katie says. Love creates. Love is an experience. The whole point is to experience that love that we are. So we're going to get to this. Love just is, and it's done, and it's always extending and it's expanding. So everything is either an extension of love or a call for help, a call to understand, to feel that love, to see that love, to perceive that love. You are the process. Right? And today we're going to talk about a simple 3D step process to experience that love, to experience that creation within towards the end of this. But here's what we unpacked during our 3 hours together, right? Talking about various videos, talking about it all. But creation is finished. Neville Goddard, all the greats say this. All possible realities and versions of yourself exist, infinite in number as potential. That's clear. Creation, what it means by creation is finished is that all potential yous, all potential realities, all potential versions of yourself, everything that you could ever be, do, or have already exist, right? This is the great I am that is set forth in Scripture, right? That creation is finished is the I am. It's the divine mind of God. It's the first manifestation of the absolute, of the I, of the isness. From the isness, you have beingness. Hear that. From the isness, which just is, you have beingness. The beingness is that potential to be, do, or have anything you want, right? The paradox is creation is finished and is forever expanding at the same time. Otherwise, it wouldn't be infinity. That's what infinity is. Infinity is finished, but it's expanding at the same time. There's no beginning, there's no end. Love simply is, and that's what creation is. It's love. That's what God is. That's what Scripture was saying. Before Abraham was, I am. In other words, before Abraham, I am. Before Abraham, that creation has always been. It was the first manifestation of that I, right? It's the everything. So let's hit this. This infinite potential of creation is the divine mind of God. What Scripture calls the Son of God, or I am. This is all potential, right? The first manifestation of the absolute, God, all that is the divine will to live, the divine will to love, the divine will to create. In that absoluteness, in that I am, as part of that I, remember the Father and I are one, but the Father is greater than I. So the Father and I are one with what? That I, the I am is part of the I. It's part of the absolute. But the I is greater, that absoluteness is greater, that absolute is unchanging. But that I am, within that can be conditioned, can change. You can see different parts of it. You can manifest and create within that I am, right? And you condition that I am by saying, I am what? I am who, right? Divine will to live, to love, and create. First cause, source, is the I within. which we have our beingness. That's what Scripture was saying for in him we live and we move and we have our being in Acts 17:28. In what? In the I, in the absolute, in the unchangeable, in the infinite, in the eternal I, we have our beingness, or the I am. In him we live, we move, and have our being. In other words, we can experience that great love any way we choose. We have the free will to choose with that I am. That's powerful. So creation is the divine mind of God. It's infinite intelligence, what also referred to as infinite intelligence. And what does that mean? Infinite thought. The thoughts of God, all thoughts of God that you could ever possibly think are in that divine mind. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts. In number infinite and everywhere without all limit. A Course in Miracles. Tying everything we just talked about together. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts. In number infinite and everywhere without all limit. It's everything, right? This one source, this one power, this one intelligence is love. It's pure positive energy in potential of the absolute, the isness of God, right? This beingness is the Son of God, is the beingness. It's the I am. But the isness is the absoluteness of God, the I, right? It's the isness of God. With the beingness as the Son of God, that's creation. Before Abraham, I am. Before Abraham, that beingness. That beingness is the manifestation of the absolute, the unchangeable I within. Right? Wow, that's powerful. So, love is source. Love is all power, all knowing, all present. There is no source, not this. There is no source of anything unlike love. If love is all there is, then love is all there is. You can have an experience unlike love, right? As you condition that I am, that beingness. But there's no source of anything unlike love. You can have the experience of evil, the experience of hate, the experience of negativity, quote, negativity, or something bad, but there's no source of unlike love. Only love creates and only like itself. Love just creates like itself. You create everything else that's unlike it, right? You have the free will to choose how you will experience that love, that source. Everything is an extension of love or a call for help, right? This comes from A Course in Miracles. And answering that call is what love does. That's what Byron Katie said. I love this. So everything is an extension of love or a call for help. And answering that call for help is what love does. That's what love does. That's what love is. So it's not a question of what is real or unreal. In other words, what is real and what is an illusion. That's not the question. There's only one creation, one truth, one love, one. The only question is, what part of reality, what part of creation, what part of that love are you consciously or unconsciously choosing to experience or manifest or create or perceive? Do you see it? It's all real. But what part are you going to manifest? What part are you going to create? What are you going to perceive of that love? In other words, what's your experience going to be of that one reality? So it's not about an illusion, it's just that nothing is as it seems. Behind what is the apparent illusion of the reality is the reality, ultimate reality. So nothing is it's either a question of what's real and what part of that realness or that reality are you seeing or perceiving. And always, guys, because of the 3D apparatus, because we're only seeing less than 0.1% of the true picture, we're always seeing a limited perception. We're always seeing an incomplete picture of reality that we call an illusion. But it's just an incomplete perception. It's not an illusion, it's just that it's not what it seems. Behind it is ultimate reality, and within it is all reality. Remember, it's a hologram. With any part of God is the whole of God. When any part of love is the whole of love. You can't divide up oneness. You can't divide up God. You can't divide up unity. You can't divide up love, right? We try to. Creation is the opposite of all illusions. For creation is the truth. A Course in Miracles, confirming what we're talking about here. It's the opposite of all illusions. For creation is the truth. Creation is that love. Creation is that I am. Creation is the Son of God. It's the first manifestation of the absolute. It's where all potential is. And it's the opposite of all illusions. Illusion, By definition, in the dictionary, it says a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived by the senses. Do you see it? What meaning we're not wrongly perceived, but partially perceived. So it's not even wrong, right? The dictionary says wrong, but there's nothing wrong or right. It's just an impartial, incomplete perception by the senses. It's a deceptive appearance or impression, as the dictionary says. Judge not by appearances. That's why Jesus said that. It's an incomplete impression. It's an incomplete image. It's an incomplete appearance. It's not a deception. It's just incomplete. It's not as it seems. Do you see this? So the illusion, a false idea or belief, or another definition, or in other words, a limiting belief, a partial belief, an incomplete belief, an incomplete assumption, incomplete perception. That's what a limiting belief is. It's just you conditioning the wholeness of who you are. You're conditioning the unconditional you and calling that a false belief or a limiting belief. Right? But all beliefs are limiting by nature. Unless you believe in the wholeness and the truth of who you are, completely unlimited. The only belief that's unlimited is the belief in unlimitedness. Is an unlimiting belief, right? It simply means things are not what they seem to your 3D linear thinking and sentence. We talked about the idea of linear time in yesterday's video, right? It's an illusion. It's an incomplete perception, right? Every part of perceived reality, less than 0.01%, contains the whole of God or creation. It's a hologram, whole or holy or wholeness. That's what holy means. There's nothing outside complete unity and oneness. There's nothing outside the holy you, the whole you, right? That's what holy means in Scripture. Creation is the holy Son of God, the whole of I am, right? For in creation is his will. Will what will? Will to live, will for life, will for love, will for more life, more love. That's what the will is. Complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Course in Miracles, talking about the idea that it's a hologram, that every part of the whole contains the whole. Creation is the holy Son of God, the wholeness of the I am. For in creation is his will, right? The will to live, the will to life, the will to complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Wow! Course in Miracles, unpacking the holographic nature of the universe, of the 3D world, of you, of love, of God, of creation. Creation, God, the universe, it's a hologram. Every part contains the whole. We are creation. We are the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with him. Yet back of all doubts, past all fears, there is still certainty. Wow! Course in Miracles. I love this. It makes no sense to doubt and fear anything. Why? Because behind it all, back of all of it, is certainty, absolute conviction that doesn't change, of love. That's why it's okay to let doubt and fear come up. Just don't identify with it. Why? Because behind that is certainty. When you stop identifying with it, the fulfillment and the certainty rises within you. As you just let that doubt and fear, you move past it. Back of all doubts, past all our fears, there's still certainty. Course in Miracles. We seem to be discreet, separated, unaware of our eternal unity with him, with God, with the I, with all there is. We are the sons of God. We are creation, right? We are that creative medium. There's no separation. That's why there's so much power in focusing on your desired outcome or your imagined end. That's why there's so much power that Neville Goddard and all the spiritual greats talk about going to the end and staying there, living in the end, because we are the end. We are creation. Back of and beyond the messy middle is absolute certainty, conviction, and fulfillment. Hear this. What we call the messy middle, doubts, fears, all of that's the messy middle. Back and beyond all of that messy middle is the absolute certainty, conviction, fulfillment. You are creation. You equal all thought. You equal creation. You equal all memories, as we talked about yesterday. You equal all events, all conditions. You exist in all of them, and they exist in you. But you get to decide what part you're going to see or perceive. That's why there is nothing more powerful than going to the end of what you desire and staying there. Here's how. So now, during our second session, we talked about, well, Tom, I just need something. I need something. And I've talked about several 3-step processes in my almost 1,000 videos now. But I took another look at it. And remember, based on what we just talked about, the process is you. In other words, creation is you. It's I am. It's all there is. It's within you. So I talked about this AAA, the AAA three-step process. First step, assume and occupy the end and stay there. Go to the end because you are the end. Go to the end because you are creation. Creation's finished, meaning it's in potential. The potential's within you. You get to decide. So assume and occupy the end and stay there. Then affirm, imagine, compose, receive, perceive the scene or the movie slide. Create the scene, create the assumption, create the thought, create the slide. Anything you want. It doesn't have to be visual. Affirm it. I am that. I am that I am. Right? Everything's perfect. It's perfect. It's done. It's me. Whatever you want. Or imagine a scene, a simple scene of being congratulated or being hugged or jumping in someone's arms or walking around the house you love. Whatever you want to do, compose it, receive it, perceive the scene within, right? And then allow it. Probably the most important step. What does allowance mean? What does the receiving state mean? It means really opposite thoughts, doubts, and fears and counterintentions, allow them to be there. They're going to come up. When you move to what you want and become it, there's going to be evidence of who you are no longer all around you, right? When you become and move into that version of yourself, that reality that you are, then then everything you're seeing that doesn't align with it is just evidence of who you no longer are. So allow the opposite thoughts of doubt and fear and the counterintentions to be there. They're going to come up immediately when you move to the end and what you want. Allow them to be there without identifying with them as who you are. Hold on to nothing, as A Course in Miracles says. Fulfillment and complete unity is already there. You can stay connected to what you love because you are what you love. You are love. You are creation. That is the only manifesting process you'll ever need. Assume it, affirm it, allow it, occupy it, imagine it. Let go and don't hold on to opposite thoughts of fear, right? Imagine, compose, occupy, affirm, assume. It's all there in this three-step. It's all you. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me on the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for just being here. Thank you for considering joining the membership channel, which is a link below. There'll be more content coming there. We're also starting in preliminary planning of a live stream. Also, you can visit us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin. We have a Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. You can share insight and guidance with others on that group. And just anytime visit our website at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com. With great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, creators, see you soon.